Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. for over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time, and you're jamming to the theme song again.
Because my computer has issues apparently with audio and video today, this week. It's one of those weeks. Anyway.
I got you. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for the Greg Cherry Show.
Hi.
It's Greg and Jeff.
Yes.
With the not so smooth intro, but hey, we're just getting this thing back together. It's gonna take a
it's one of those things. It works really well on the phone, but I guess the computer isn't as seamless. We'll have to iron that out as we go, or just re-edit the opening. God for freaking bit. I have no problem doing that. I ain't got shit to do anyway. So anyway, it is officially wonderful to have you back amongst the madness of the multiverse, because Lord knows it's a crazy world over here. I wouldn't want to paint it, although I do, because it's kind of my multiverse. I guess I have to, right? Well, it's a lot I've chosen in life. And yes, I agree. Yes, Jeff is in a good mood because Greg is back amongst the family. So we are happy to have him back, even with the technical difficulties. Good to see Josh. Good to see Greg. Good to see Greg, of course. It's his show, but good to see Josh. Good to see JJ.
I hope it's good to see me.
Good to see Schmackafrog, apparently. There you go.
Hey, that's not a name I think I've seen before on this show, so I'll take it.
Yes. Hey, you know what? If he's watching on one of the other members of the multiverse, then welcome to the Greg Cherry Show. Strap in.
Yeah, because
this is the wackiest hour you're going to have all week, I promise.
As we've seen on the show, it's going to be insane. And not only that, it's going to be insane. I'm pretty sure I made this announcement last week, but I'm going to make it again today. This coming Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing a special Greg Cherry Show. I was planning on going all the way till 8 o'clock. I don't think I have the endurance for that.
Well, for the record, if you go to 8 o'clock Eastern, that gives us that gives the channel a 3-hour break before we go live with open mic night. So there is that.
There is that. So it's 1 o'clock till I feel like I'm done.
I mean, hey, you know what? Whatever tickles your proverbial fancy on the Saturday. So Lord knows you got to keep busy on the Saturday.
And I'm going to throw this out now. First of all, fortunately, my groin is safe from having to do Melina's entrance.
Yes, this is fair.
I'm going to throw this out for Saturday only.
Okay.
Every $25 total donated directly to my Streamlabs, this guy's going to pie himself in the face.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, for your birthday it was $50. For Saturday it'll be $25.
That's all right.
I'm discounting it. So
summertime 50% off sale.
It is.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm hoping we're gonna have some special guests with us on the show.
It's good that you pick Friday, because Friday could be busier than it already is. We're doing our SmackDown watch along. because it's at the Garden, and we were hoping for more than probably is going to happen. But it'll be what it'll be, whatever we do on Friday. But Saturday is wide open, so I can pop in throughout the however long the endurance test goes for you. Whatever's clever, brother. I'm good. If it's the Greg Cherry show, then it should be, the Greg Cherry show. So I'll be here.
Maddie will be joining us, I'm sure, at some point.
Nice. Always good
I
to see you.
I do have, I believe, a guest confirmation. I don't want to give that away just in case.
Well, no.
But I have talked to this person, and they are good to appear very briefly, but they will still make an appearance.
That's okay. Brief is better than not at all. And Dwayne's volunteering to be in there, and Josh is lamenting the lack of reaching the goal. You know what? Like I said, when I forget if I popped into the Greg Cherry show or whatever it was last week, but now that I'm reestablished communication with Melina through Ultimate Women of Wrestling, don't be surprised if we get the actual Melina split entrance. Just give it time. Wait it out, kids. So,
I mean, I'm sure that would be much more preferable to watch her do it than I would. Although,
I mean, whatever tickles everybody else's fancy out there. I would firstly prefer Melina, as would your groin and your recovery. So there is that option.
For the record, my laptop was having issues, so that's why there's no graphic behind me today.
Yes.
Because for whatever ungodly reason, it decided to shut itself off. And I only have about 10 minutes to prepare for the show, so I couldn't get that loaded up and fired up in time.
It is all good. And Dwayne, I grant you've seen the Melina entrance multitude of times on television, but never right here in studio live as it happens. Keep that in mind also.
That's fair.
So,
I do want to say, if we get enough people Saturday, I might do what we call a little exhibition game.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized as I was saying exhibition is probably not good, leaving it by itself.
I'm gonna say exhibition, but an exhibitionist, I guess. So we'll go ahead and keep going with the conversation.
I am thinking if we have enough people, I might throw in a little exhibition game of Jack of all trades.
Yes, long overdue for one of those. So
yes, I can work up some questions, work up some rounds. Unfortunately, Sat is busy with Wrestle Talk duty, so he couldn't join us on Saturday.
That is
trying.
Perfectly acceptable. Yes. I will say this, and I completely forgot to do this yesterday because I'm a terrible, as happy as a founder as I am, I'm also a terrible shill, apparently, for my own damn self. So I did not mention this yesterday during Talk Wrestling, and I meant to. So anybody between now and we'll say open mic night, the end of open mic night on the 15th, July 15th. That'll be after our coverage of Slammiversary. Anybody wants to donate $10 to my channel, because Jay just got enough super chats this month already. He's already almost to goal. I'm sitting here in the under $20 land. They are more than welcome to fill the other contestant seats as we play our version of Pyramid on July 22nd. So $10 on that front. Like in any stream we do, you say $10 and this is for Pyramid, you're in, because we had people lined up and they are at a family function on July 22nd. I tried to get Shawn Michaels. It's his birthday. He's a little busy that day, so he won't be there. I really didn't try to get Shawn, if you guys didn't know. But anybody that wants to be on with a $10 super chat to the Jeff Meacham Network side of this crazy multiverse is welcome to face off. We were going to have either JJ or myself or Stat Boy fill the other contestant spot, but their opponent is JJ's daughter, so a little bit of a family bias. We can't do that. We're not going to try to kick the 14-year-old's ass in Pyramid, so we just figured, okay, somebody can super chat for that $10. Oh, there you go. JJ, if you allow me, I'll be honored to participate in the impromptu Jack of all trades on Saturday as soon as I'm done with a simple take with Noah Foster. So there you go. He's doing his simple take of what the hell we just do? Money in the Bank. That's what it was. What the hell show just happened? Money in the Bank. So there you go. JJ, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing JD on Jack of all trades. We were trying to work that out last time we did the team one, if I remember right. It just didn't happen. So
we did get a super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Chat. I believe
$2.
Can't confirm.
Well, it's either mine or JJ's. I think it's the only two that are monetized in this group. Yes. So thank you, Tornado. Appreciate that. Roman got pinned. He did. What'd you think of Money in the Bank, dude?
Roman got pinned. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, that's guy should have won Money in the Bank, but I guess he's too old, even though Damian Priest is literally older than him by a few months. But yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Josh says Tornadoes is on Greg's channel. It hasn't come through on the. Oh, there it is. It did come through on mine. Oh, thank you. I thought your channel wasn't monetized. No, my channel is monetized, but I prefer the Streamlabs because that comes directly to me.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, got it.
So yeah, like people can super chat on my channel. I just
prefer.
I've been monetized for years.
Oh, there it is. There we go. Well, I'm putting the ticker on because I feel like a freaking begging bum yesterday. So here, if y'all want to donate, please to my channel. There, please. Okay, I'm good now. Done begging for the day. But yeah, it's one of those. I am surrounded by things from the House of Mouse because I can't actually go to the House of Mouse to work because of the car accident. So I'm just kind of just doing the YouTube gimmick and doing trying to avoid the cabin fever gimmick. That's a rough gimmick. So I'm trying to have money to do other things, which, like I said, participating in it's so funny. People talk about when we were in the really deep throes of the pandemic, getting cabin fever. And it's like, I think those of us in the content creation side of things didn't really get it as bad because we were able to get ourselves out there, even if it was just out right through here. So I didn't feel it until probably actually right before I got hired at Disney. It was when I was really starting to feel the isolation because I wasn't going to do a hell of a whole lot. So yeah, get me out of the house if nothing else.
Well, I mean, the pandemic did a lot of good things in hindsight. I mean, we created this show for crying out loud.
Right.
It did create the whole campaign to get on Quizzlemania. The Jeff Meacham Network was born as a result. And
yes,
just lots of things.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that super chat. I'll go ahead and throw it up there. And Josh, I don't think you're understanding that the person who asked the question is being a smartass. So we'll just let that be. I know I talk a lot on Greg's show, but I don't get to talk to Greg very much anymore. So it's when I see him, it's like, well, I want to talk and say hi.
Tornado is asking who smashed the pie in Kevin Owens' face. You know, I feel like we brought this up on a prior show, like a very recent prior show.
Yeah, I thought we did too.
And I'm pretty sure the answer we came up with was Sami Zayn. Yeah,
has to be Sami.
Because at the time, 2000, I believe it was 2016, where that segment happened on Raw, and Sami and Kevin were feuding at the time, so it would have made sense.
It makes perfect sense to me.
And the Fashion Files looked into it, but I don't think they ever figured it out.
Well, the only thing they figured out is how to get themselves booked into the NWA and then Impact Wrestling. Well, dango anyway. Breeze is apparently still under contract. It was like the worst breaking news in the history of NerdyQ.com. He's still on salary. No kidding.
Well, yeah, I mean I think he signed a contract just to be with Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. And it's just, the folks that run NoDQ don't pay attention to the peripheral stuff all that much. So they didn't know, apparently. So yeah. Breezy, I don't think Breezy ever really officially got 100% let go. I know he was released from his talent contract as a in-ring superstar, but and even he was released fully, he was hired back almost right away. So.
Yeah, he I think he was released fully, but they did bring him back for the purposes of Up, Up, Down, Down, which he was such a huge part of the channel.
Well, yeah.
To have to.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have put more emphasis on that as far as they didn't do shit with the New Day between the time Kofi lost the title and the time Big E won the title. So I'd have been plugging the hell out of that, especially on social media. And I guess they did to a certain extent, but it didn't feel like it was getting near the love that it was in its infancy when Breezy was on all the time and wasn't doing anything prior to Kofi's winning the title really. So I guess I don't know.
Josh did donate. I just saw it come through. I don't know why it didn't come through earlier, so I had to refresh my page.
Damn things.
He says, "Love you, awesome guys. Eating my Mr. Heroes right now while watching." Is that a restaurant in Ohio?
Must be.
Sunburnt and crispy to all hell, including water blisters. Hey, I had my sunburn, which is still peeling to this day. My vacation was 3 weeks ago. It's still peeling.
I mean, to be fair, he wore a Cody Rhodes tank top out yesterday and didn't. Come on, Josh. I put sunscreen on. Yeah. Josh, you're like me. You need SPF 2000.
He continues and says, "I'm getting more excited as training camp draws near. Yes, we're getting close to NFL season, which we love it here on the
yeah. So I'm glad about sports. I got something to show off here in a second that we were talking about on Twitter amongst us.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. I'm going to do this, finish this comment, do the spin, and then we'll get into the top 10 athletes of all time.
Fudge.
All hail Jeff the creator. All love to Greg the host. Hashtag Matty Laws number 1.
That would be Josh.
Matty Laws is a good looking dude, let's face it.
Yes. He is a handsome man. No doubt about it. All right. See
so
if I can...
I am going to share my screen, which hopefully shouldn't screw up the stream.
Oh, well, I was going to do it because I've got the tweet already loaded up here.
Well, I meant for the spin.
Oh, the spin. Yeah, go for that. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Then I will wait to share mine that we don't have an overload.
Waiting for it to pop up. Come on. You know you want it. You know you want to.
Waiting for the pop-up. That is exactly what she said. Anyway.
Hello.
Hey, it's a Wednesday.
If it doesn't show up in the next 15 seconds, I'm just going to turn the camera to face it.
No, Schmackfog. We're not going to rank the top 10. We're going to tear apart somebody else's. Specifically, the placement of one athlete. It's like, wow, above, below all these guys is going to be the basis of the discussion.
Yeah. Maybe we'll share the screen.
Maybe. Very possibly.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna watch it this way.
That's right. Zoom out just enough where I get this guy's Twitter handle on here too, so we can really tear him a new bunghole when we do this. There we go. All right.
Here we go. Here's the spin.
Oh yeah, we are using the tech today, kids.
Yep. And 20 jumping jacks, it looks like.
Well, of course, because then you have to go put the computer back down, set the camera back up, and then it is what it is.
All right. So 20 jumping jacks. I'm going to switch it up a little bit today with the music because we always do the body Donna's music. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. So
do Simon Dean's music.
What'd you say?
I said you should do Simon Dean's music instead.
I was going to.
Fuck, see? We still got our syncing up.
Yeah. You knew where I was going with it. It's
like, it's hey.
I couldn't surprise you for the pop.
Portnova will never live that shit down. Are you kidding me? Come on now.
All right. Well, at least it's just 20.
He could have freaking jumped back to ECW during the WCW years, won the freaking world title. He will always be Simon Dean now, that poor bastard.
Simon Dean theme. Come on. YouTube, you have everything for crying out loud.
Oh yeah, I've tried so many times to make like wrestling theme play this on Spotify, and just they've got so many remixes or just don't have stuff at all. It's like, man, YouTube is the place to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right, here we go.
Yes. Oh my God. Damn song. Oh my goodness. There we go.
Amazing they did this gimmick twice and it never got either one of them over.
Nope, not a one. Do you remember Maven being his like freaking protege? Do you remember that shit?
1 second.
Okay, sorry.
All right, what's up?
You remember Maven being like Simon's like trainee? Do you remember that?
Yeah, because he had that segment with Austin after WrestleMania.
Oh my God, what a mess. Oh, and yes, Josh, we do appreciate you not saying open mic night so the rest of them look like a bunch of freaking idiots on karaoke nights. Because Lord knows that's a big. Oh, speaking of that, I know you you have karaoke on your wheel. You're into the karaoke. The week before All In, we're doing British Invasion music karaoke.
Oh, nice.
In November, Disney songs, much to Noah's chagrin. December, we're bringing back our Christmas episode, year 2, and then March will be the wrestling themes karaoke. So you are welcome to those, and you are welcome to join us for the game nights if the opportunity arises on a Saturday night. I know Saturday nights are late for you, especially being on the East Coast, and we don't start till 7 or 8 our time. So,
yeah.
But always down to have you on.
Yeah, if I can ever get a Saturday night where I am free to do so, it might be this Saturday. I'm not sure what time Jen's going to get back from her concert. So
I mean,
join.
You are always welcome. There's no particular theme this Saturday. It's just kind of a, day after SmackDown at the Garden. Just we're gonna basically what Open Mic Night's become now. JJ is the topic collector and moderator. He's for lack of a much better term to use here, he's the virtue to the No DQ review for our Open Mic Night. He moderates it, but Aaron actually hosts that. I don't even host it. JJ completely runs that show, and I appreciate the hell out of him for doing it. But this Saturday will be one of those just random shit. The next 2 Saturdays will be themed, or not themed, but the 15th will be post Slammiversary, and then the 22nd will be our like I said, our pyramid, then Open Mic Night after that. So,
I mean, I like the idea of doing game shows. I wonder how well that would work if it wasn't just an exclusively Open Mic Night show.
Well, we've talked about that. Ironically, after yesterday's stream, what it was, Talk Wrestling, JJ and I were talking about this last night, that maybe I move my solo shows to a more of a member subscription based thing, like he has for his wrestling reviews. But Sunday is pretty much open on the entirety of the multiverse, unless there's a pay-per-view that day, which there's not for a while. So we were thinking, something to fill that slot, not necessarily a live thing for me, because JJ was going, and on the 7th day, the founder rests. It's like, well, I mean, that's fair. I appreciate that. But maybe once in a while we can work scheduling and things permitting, either a jack of all trades on a Sunday, or, God help us, the luck of the draw, if we can get people together, just something.
But luck of the draw, I feel like, would be very difficult to do online. Don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to the idea. That being said, trying to do that with a setup and trying not to get anything on anybody's equipment.
Yeah.
That's probably the toughest part.
Yeah. I was thinking luck of the draw would be applicable if we all actually end up getting to go to WrestleMania. That we were all together and we can have a big giant tarp underneath everybody in one location and just pray for the best.
I could see what I could do about inviting other people to that. That would have to be something like a Thursday night or something where there's nothing going on.
Well, right. And see, with Mania Week, there's something going on pretty much starting Wednesday night. So.
Yeah.
So we have to come in we have to either come in earlier in the week or stay after like the day after Raw after Mania or something to pull that shit off.
I feel like by the day after Raw, we're just all going to want to go home. So.
That's fair. That's a long time to be in Philadelphia for any reason, let alone wrestling. Love you folks watching in Philly if you're watching in Philly, but yeah, being real.
Look at the draw. Such a hard thing to plan for because
what is?
Because number one, if people decide they don't want to do it, you've spent money on stuff to use for the game that you're not going to use.
Right.
It's always been one of my biggest bitches about the game. It's like,
well,
if you commit to doing it, I think you're coming. So if you back out, I've already spent money that I can't just.
No.
It's one of my biggest complaints.
No, because most of the stuff you buy for that show is perishable or, food ingredients that, you can't just recoup and sell back. It's.
See, here's my idea. If we did an online version, I feel like this is a negotiation going on the show. But hey, here's what I want. This is my ideal scenario.
Yeah.
First of all, I want an even number of guys and girls.
Yes, that's fair.
Secondly, everybody would have to buy their own stuff, which fortunately is cheap. Water is free, for crying out loud.
Generally speaking.
Eggs have gone down in price, and you only need 3
Thank
of them.
God for that. Jesus.
Yeah. And then a bottle of chocolate syrup, which you can get a cheap bottle.
I was going to say, freaking Dollar Tree has the generic. You don't want to use Hershey's for something like this, kids. Go for the generic Dollar Tree shit.
No, I've always used the cheap stuff. I'm not wasting Hershey syrup.
No.
Always.
Treat it like a TNA show. Get the freaking cheap Shasta Cola and the bargain basement chicken wings.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Anyway.
So and here's the thing too, and this is gonna sound like kind of wussy of me. I don't want to coordinate who's gonna be on it.
Well, no. Because
that is again the biggest thing. It's like, oh no, well we have to do this. It's like if I can just show up and host, that is the dream, really.
That's the dream, bro. That's it. Living the dream. That's it.
So if we do a luck at the draw in the future, which I would absolutely love to do an online version, because I can sit here, I can have a camera on the cards, and we can go from there, and that would be awesome. So if any of you know anybody who wants to be on the show, again, I want an even number of men and women. If there's non-binaries, that's fine.
We should do. We should combine our theme night for the February game show, the Newlywed Game, and have them do luck of the draw with it.
My wife would not be happy.
I know, that's why I said it.
Besides, she's already won twice. She's unbeaten. She's got nothing to prove.
That's fair.
I have not.
She's Jeffrey Edwards at luck of the draw.
I have not had that same luck. I'm 1-1.
There.
But yeah, if we ever do that, like, can you imagine like Aaron and Caitlin on that show?
Well, see, my grand vision for the February game show, which, like I said, we're padding after newlyweds, but none of the 3 couples I have in mind are newlyweds. And I'm not saying which one hasn't committed yet because I'm not going to get my ass in trouble or get yelled at. But it was going to be the channel heads, you and Jen, Aaron and Caitlin, and JJ and Cece. And I'm single as hell, so I can host that shit and be okay with it. I can be the Chuck or no, Bobby Banks.
And hey, I found this. So
hey, there you go. See, I've got 2 of those. One here, one at the new place. Both still in their packaging from not being able to have been on Jack of all trades. So, yeah, I am ready for that shit. But yeah, I would love to see Jack of all trades join the at least regular or semi-regular lineup on a Sunday. That'd be awesome. And Sundays tend to be, at least in my experience, easier for coordinating, especially around the world. Weekdays are the mucker, father.
The only issue I have with Sundays, especially coming up, those are going to be NFL Sundays. weeks.
Right. Which is why I was figuring, have at least ease into it with it being, on a July show or an August show before preseason really gets moving.
But yeah, there you go. So we're this is basically just a planning meeting instead of
that's right. That's right. You guys get behind the scenes now, so there you go.
I'm perfectly good with that.
It was suggested that we should bring back the weird state laws, and I am all for that next time we get together for a show, because I meant that segment was one of my favorite things we ever did every week.
Oh, hey, let's bring it back for Saturday then. I'll bring.
There you go.
Saturday.
There you go.
We can spin a wheel of all the states and see which state we're going to do.
I like that. That's perfect.
We started. I don't remember where we left off. Somebody might know better than me who's watched all the shows. I don't watch these after they air. But yeah. So if you want to coordinate luck of the draw and see who you can pull, go for it.
I just got to find people that are willing to get chocolate syrup and eggs and water. I'm okay with that. Not me, because I will gladly be producer guy and run the booth. All right. So got a question again about the athletes thing. So let's go ahead and I can share this with a minimal hassle, which is always the challenge around here. All right. I want to thank Lady Aaron of No DQ, not Aaron Rift, but our female friend ERIN Aaron, for providing this list and very accurately stating how in the hell, she didn't say it like this, but I'm saying it like this because it's freaking true. How in the hell is Wayne Gretzky so low on this list of top 10 athletes of all time? And by the way, let me get this guy's name back up here. Oh, I zoomed in too far. Hang on. I got to zoom out just a smidge.
Well, Kate would like the first part of that.
There we go. So Heat Daddy 694. Heat Daddy 69420. Chuckle. There's an original thing. Wow. Yeah, he's clearly got his priorities in order. Anyway, not up for discussion. Bullshit. First of all, I have zero issue. Not zero issue, I should say, but definitely zero issue with the names on the list, because these decent names, without a doubt. Jordan's one of the best athletes ever. Tom Brady, again, Tom Brady, whatever you think of him and the deflate gate, guy's a hell of an athlete. LeBron, I would agree with being on the list. Lionel Messi, Mayweather, all these people are definitely in that discussion.
Can I ask a question? And
certainly.
Forgive my
show, so.
Who the hell was Rachel Starr?
Yeah, I was going to look it up because I forgot. I know who she is, but my brain just didn't go there. Rachel Starr.
That list is like, okay, I recognize 9 out of 10 names. I have no idea who Rachel Starr is.
Yeah. So right away, we've got a freaking.
That's kind of what I was wondering, JJ.
Yeah, okay. It looks like she's a track and field athlete, but yeah, I was gonna say it's yeah. So this guy is clearly trolling, which is fine. I'm sure being in that line of work, she's a gymnast or has to be in fairly flexible shape. Okay. But seriously, I can trade Wayne Gretzky and Tiger Woods places right away. As amazing as Tiger Woods was, he has had chronic, continual issues, particularly with his back. And I think that had he been not injured and honestly not gotten in so much trouble, whatever you want to call it, he may be in the discussion to be even higher. But Gretzky had literally one half a season where his back was putting his career in jeopardy. And then he came back and took the Kings to the freaking Stanley Cup the same season. Didn't win because fucking McSorley. Okay, Rachel Starr again, adult film star. Let's just move on. See, I think Mayweather's a great athlete. I just don't think he's the caliber of athlete of Tiger Woods or Wayne Gretzky. As awesome a fighter as he was. I don't know if he's still fighting or not. I don't know.
It depends on if he's broke again.
That's fair. It's very fair. Who else? Again, I don't watch enough soccer for my family's liking, but even I know who Lionel Messi is, and he's awesome. Better athlete than Gretzky is definitely a talking point because soccer players are on a whole other level, right? But yeah, JD makes a good point. Is Mayweather in his prime a better athlete than Tyson was in his prime, than Ali, than George Foreman, than Oscar? Oscar was a goddamn Energizer bunny when he was fighting.
And here's the thing. Again, with number 6, it's clearly a troll. But
It has to be. Although I will say in Google searching, all of the titles of the content say brunette athlete Rachel Starr. So she could be an athlete for all I know.
Do accolades mean that they're a better athlete?
Thank you. Yes.
Because I'm sure there are better athletes who have not won as many championships. Or there's some athletes that aren't on this list that I'm kind of surprised about. Where's Serena Williams?
Right, exactly.
Like, I figure that she would be at least in the discussion of being in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah. You figure if you're going to make a list and say the top 10 greatest athletes of all time, you got to have at least one athlete from every major sport.
And Joey Chestnut eats hot dogs. Like, I know that, like, you need to train yourself to be able to do that. But
yes,
we're gonna put him above Federer. Like,
yeah, that's horseshit.
And not only above Federer, but above everybody who doesn't make the list.
Yeah, Usain Bolt, another one who, and again, I'm sure this person is just trolling. It's just I happen to see Lady Aaron quote tweeted it and said Gretzky needs to be higher. And yeah, even if you take off Joey and Rachel Starr, Gretzky's number
7.
7 of 8 legitimate athletes on here, which is also inaccurate, at least for my money. And again, I'm biased. I'm not. What's that?
Usain Bolt is a good shout for.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying you're trolling it in the chat. I'm saying this list originally posted as a troll. Like I said, they've got the hot dog eating champion of the world and an adult film star on there. So, you'll never hear me arguing against Jordan being one of the greatest of anything ever, except maybe a baseball player. Same with Brady. Same with LeBron, Messi.
There are no baseball players on that list.
Which again is a and again, baseball's been really scrutinized and really shit on in the awareness of steroids in the game era, unfortunately, because back when we were kids, Canseco and McGuire and Sosa and Barry Bonds were all in the discussions, and now whole thing's tainted, and it's not, but that's how it comes off. Right. You're a Yankees fan. Derek Jeter is one of the greatest I've ever seen play any game. The dude's on another level. Yeah. He was the captain of the Yankees for so long for a reason. It wasn't just because he was a pretty man. Like, Jesus. And yeah, Bo Jackson, 2-sport athlete. Good point, JJ. But again, Bo was playing in the eras of both sports where steroids were rampant, just not weren't talked about. So we don't know about Bo. Does Bo know steroids? I don't know.
Code of Tecmo Super Bowl.
What's that?
I said Bo Jackson, the cheat code of Tecmo Bowl.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is a person who just wrote a list did not give reasoning for any of the lists.
No, and just said not for discussion. Yeah.
It's like, no, this is the list. This is it. You can't debate me because I'm right, which is 98% Twitter anyway.
It's a fair take.
I call them like I see them.
No, you're right, and it's
so yeah. There can be some arguments for some of the people on this list, but there's also a lot of arguments for people not even on the list.
Yeah,
so,
and
it's very
looking at it now and remembering who Jerry Chestnut, when Alex Wood listened to Jerry, I was like, okay, so he's got the hot dog guy and a porn star on here. Yeah, he's trolling, which, you know what, good for him. He got himself a little attention today, so good for him.
I get off the screen. I'm sick of looking at it.
I'm trying to freaking. I think you can do it from there where you are. That's okay. Trying to make it stop. Make the bad noise go away. Anyway, yeah. Kobe again. You know, just in basketball alone, Kobe is in the discussion, certainly above LeBron for my money. So, but anyhow, Michael Phelps again, Olympic athlete, crying out loud.
Brock is a ridiculous athlete.
Yeah. Brock and Kurt Angle both not being on this list yes, they're both mainly known for their WWE and in Kurt's case, wrestling period, TNA, whatever, time. But, you know, Olympic gold medalist, NCAA champion, UFC heavyweight champion in Brock Lesnar's case. So, yeah, just, you know, yeah. I would say of that list, Schmackafrog is right, except I would also put Gretzky on there because Gretzky was a tremendous athlete. My dad and I get sideways a lot on Wayne because people call Wayne Gretzky the greatest hockey player of all time, and it's like he was the greatest scorer to ever play the game, which is my dad's contention. According to my dad, the greatest player ever played the game was Bobby Orr. And, you know, Bobby Orr could do Wayne Gretzky things, but he was a defenseman, which is what made him so great. You know, he was the best offensive defenseman in the history of the NHL. And I can't argue with him on that.
Josh, your Cleveland bias is showing.
I was going to say, Josh, I'll fight you to the death on that shit. And win because I'll have people helping me beat your ass.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that any athlete who's played for a Pittsburgh organization would be considered amongst the greatest athletes of all time. Are they great? Absolutely. Like you look at a guy like Sidney Crosby, who's played almost 20 years in the NHL.
Just now missed the playoffs for the first time.
Yeah. A 3 Stanley Cup champion prior to that.
Right.
You look at a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, who will be in the Hall of Fame. That's
absolutely.
Not but is he one of the greatest athletes of all time? I wouldn't say that.
Is he in the top 10? That's highly debatable.
In football,
in football, it's a discussion. Yes,
I would probably put him in the top 10. Yeah, and I think that would be fair. A 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yes,
he's one of the highest up there for passing yards.
Yep.
He never lost. He never had a losing season in 18 years.
No. There's a Pittsburgher who I have said, even the person above him in all-time discussion has said, had he stayed healthy, he would have been the greatest of all time. Mario Lemieux. If Mario hadn't hurt his back and then he hadn't got cancer, Mario would have taken Wayne's records and just blown every bit of them away. And I firmly believe that and agree with Wayne Gretzky on that. But Mario could have been Super Mario. He really could have. He just got dealt a bad hand.
Yeah. And he still won 2 Stanley Cups.
I was going to say, even as he was going into the season where he was ultimately gone, back-to-back.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup. So, hard to argue with Pittsburgh. And again, this is coming from a Dallas Cowboys fan, so Lord forgive my blue and silver blood here in a minute. But Pittsburgh sports, tremendous athletes across the board. There are so many good athletes in so many different sports, and so many different competitions, because you talk about the Olympics and whatnot. So anyway, I just thought that was discussion worthy. Had I seen the two names we saw, I probably would have been like, okay, this is a troll. But again, Gretzky still being at the bottom of the legitimate people on that list, just above Federer, is worthy enough to get my ginger dander up.
In our opinion, what is John Cena's best feud, and who do you want to see him feud with before he hangs it up? I might be controversial in saying this. I don't need to see any more out of John Cena. He's a 16.
Oh, no, I don't either. Yeah.
And he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no argument with any of that. He doesn't need to do any more. He doesn't have to. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with him giving Grayson Waller a little rub here. It looks like it's going to happen here for SummerSlam, because Grayson's kind of been doing his thing, but he hasn't, been able to work on SmackDown because he's hurt. So get him in a program with John that'll take care of him and get him over. I'm okay with that.
Also get Greg Cherry for Quizmania. Somebody needs to get him first.
Right. As far as John's best feud, I mean, for me, it's a dead heat between Orton and Cena. Orton and Edge, rather.
I mean, Punk could be argued. I didn't say he was a solid case. I said he could be argued.
No. Of course, my reason for hesitation on that one, but
yeah,
it's just Edge. Both, I of Edge and Orton, I would give the slight edge to Adam, because thank you. 5 second post. Okay, it wasn't 5. I don't care. I think that Edge, first of all, Randy and John faced off there's at least one match every month for their entire feud, and it went about 65 years, I think, roughly. So they worked a lot, those two. But
no, that's a lie. I was with 2 of them for World Championships.
Yep.
One of them was an Iron Man match. So
it was, which was obscenely good. But I think the Edge one got more personal.
Yeah.
And there was much more heat to it in a short amount of time. I think, for me, is why it resonates more. Plus, I was so happy for Adam when Edge cashed in on John, and their feud, except for the interruption, if you will, with Mick Foley, Edge and John feuded the first, 3/4 of that year. So, they went right to Unforgiven, and, every time they got into the ring together, they tore the house down. And yes, Orton and John go back the entirety of their WWE careers. They debuted in WWE the same year. They were both part of that OVW class that everybody sings the praises of, deservedly so. I just think that Edge, having just really come into his own and getting that rated R personality really clicked in, and understanding what it was going to be, or starting to get a feeling for it, and having John, who, I think it's a fair thing to say that by the end of 05, going into 06, his title run was kind of stalling a little bit. It needed an injection of something, and Edge was that guy at the right time for that. Oops.
JJ saying, what about Cena and Carlito? That was a short one, and
yeah,
it helped get Carlito over, but
and again, JJ will understand this better than anybody.
Oh,
yeah. And JJ will appreciate this, I think, because he knows I dislike this person even more than he does. I think if Aguilera hadn't been involved and they would have gone a different direction with it and it carried out longer, probably would have been better. But, and again, Aaron and I, well, Aaron Aguilera, let me be clear, Jesus, not Aaron Rift. I love Aaron Rift. It's just, it just wasn't there for me once John got the title back in such short order and pretty much punked both of them out. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We will be watching Dynamite.
Do you remember? I'm sure you do. You remember the rumors of instead of Jesus, it was supposed to be New Jack.
I did. Yeah. That would have been interesting.
I honest to God don't think New Jack. He might have gotten away with ruthless aggression. PG would not have happened with New Jack.
No, and the thing with New Jack is, the whole storyline with Jesus was John legitimately had to go. I think he was written off to go film the Marine, if I remember right. They wrote him off by having Jesus stab him. Fucking New Jack can do it for real. So I'm kind of good on that being a thing.
I think people would have believed it was.
Well, I mean, right? Yeah, justifiable, right, Jack? Yeah, no, and again, JJ knows that I've never been a big New Jack person, but even taking a objective step back, he would not have lasted long in the WWE system. It just wouldn't have been a thing. Jerome wasn't that person. He wasn't that guy. So, unfortunately for him and for a lot of ECW fans, it was never going to work. So anyway.
He infamously tried to throw a guy off a scaffold and intentionally tried to miss the tables, but didn't throw him far enough.
Yeah, and having worked with Vic Grimes after that, and then later on meeting New Jack after that, I understand the justifiable fear of that man. And yeah, they didn't even one night stand because they. As much as ECW, even the first one, the one night stand, was all about the authenticity of ECW, and they really had that real ECW feel, especially that first year.
Yeah.
New Jack was such a uncontrollable variable that they couldn't wrap their heads around trying to make it work because New Jack wouldn't have done business at the end of the day. Wouldn't have done WWE business anyway.
I remember the first indie show I went to at the Butler Fair. This was almost 20 years ago. My gosh. Main event was Jerry Lawler and Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
I remember New Jack was in the area. He wasn't on the show whatsoever, but he was there for some reason. And I just remember thinking, I ain't saying shit to him.
No. JJ was at the show the one show I ever was a part of on the indie scene that he was contracted to be there. And JJ will vouch for this because, like I said, he was there. I did not go into the locker room the entirety of the night. I was brought in to do commentary on our women's wrestling, the Wild Wrestling match. And they had this little bitty, we called it the Eagle's Nest because that's what it was called in ECW, but it was literally like this little platform that was way up there. I'm more scared of heights than I am New Jack, but I set my ass up there. I'm like, nope, I'm staying right here. Once I got the interviews with the women done, once we got the publicity photos and all that shit done, I climbed into my little commentary booth and just sat my ass up there till the show was over.
There aren't very many people who have been in the wrestling business that I think, yeah, I wouldn't want to piss them off. New Jack was one of them.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
I'm sure you could guess another easily.
Yes. And, well, actually, you're actually asking me to do it on the spot. I thought we were trying to. No, honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know who. I mean.
Haku.
Okay, yeah, Haku. Okay, I thought it was somebody we both knew. It's like, yeah,
No,
Haku. We were talking about Haku yesterday on I was talking to JJ with Haku. We're talking about the members of the Anawahis that have been champions, and Haku had mentioned, and we went, wait, no. We both went, no. Haku wasn't famous. It's like, that's okay. We give him the flowers anyway because he'll bite our freaking noses off if we don't.
Yeah. He's Haku, like once he eventually passes away, you're gonna have to check to make sure he's dead because it's like, no, still scared of him. But I'm such a nice guy too. Like, if you're on good terms with him, but if you piss him off, like it's terrible.
Yeah. Haku is. I've not met him myself, but I've never heard a bad word spoken against him that wasn't in the context of him having already been done wrong or pissed off in the first place. When you're the only guy in wrestling that Andre the Giant's afraid of, like legitimately afraid of, you're a bad mucker father, and I ain't messing with you.
Yeah.
So, another guy. I mean, at least back, when he was in his dark places, was I wouldn't have pissed off Jake the Snake, because you didn't know what kind of Jake you were going to get during those periods. Having met him in subsequent years, it's not afraid of him. I still wouldn't mess with him because he's got that low key, like, I don't know what he's going to say back if I say the wrong thing. I don't feel like being cut down in front of God and everybody. But yeah, definitely Haku, definitely New Jack. I guess we've been lucky, you and I, that when we were doing our respective tours of duty, we didn't have a whole lot of problematic elements in locker rooms.
All right, so this Saturday, 1:00 Eastern.
Yes.
We're going to do a special Greg Cherry show. I do have a special guest that is going to be making their debut on the show, hopefully.
Nice.
To confirm with said person. Also reached out to others. Unfortunately, Ella J is not going to be able to be on that show. I did ask her. Conflict too. It's tough getting. I realize doing these summer shows, it's tough to get people on. But
yeah, it is. I wanted to make a note to your audience, since it's the first time we get to have you and I in the audience. Next week's Talk Wrestling will be on Thursday. Just a heads up there, across the multiverse, because I will be at Disneyland on Tuesday and Wednesday, actually. So you probably have a tired Jeff Meacham on Thursday, but I'll be there. And then you'll appreciate this one because you've been around for all of the years. 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from yesterday, excuse me. Right? Like, I can't even believe that's a thing. I mean, we did the 15-year last year, and it was like, it was what it was, but it's like, it's been a year already. Holy shit. So the 16th is the actual anniversary, but that's Sunday, and Sunday's No DQ review and whatever. And then I'll be at Disneyland for the park's birthday, which is 68 years on the 17th.
Look back, I'm pretty sure the debut of the Great Cherry Show was in August of 2020.
That sounds right.
We might be having a 3-year celebration coming up.
I'm here for it, brother. You know that.
So I will check to make sure exactly when in August that will be. But this Saturday, check it out. We're doing a special. Obviously, all the wheel spins are going to be there. $25 total donations per pie. So if we hit like $150 in donations, I'm pieing myself 6 times. That's how it's going to work. So it's going to be a lot of show. I want everybody to invite as many people as you can to watch that show.
Absolutely.
I want this to be the biggest show in the history of the Great Cherry Show. So it'll definitely be the longest, that's for sure. But I want everybody to invite their friends. If they've never seen this show before, if they like wrestling at all, have them watch this show, because I do plan on having some very special people involved. I will not say who they are. You'll just have to tune in Saturday and watch and check.
That's right.
So
it's Saturday, 10 o'clock for us West Coast kids. So yes, be there.
And who knows? Maybe we'll. I'm gonna plan a jack of all trades. I don't know who's gonna play, but I'm definitely gonna plan.
That's all right.
All right. So until next I'd say next week until Saturday.
Yes.
For Jeff Meacham over on this side, I'm Greg Cherry saying thank you for watching. Go enjoy Dynamite. Don't be a jag.
Never be a jag.
Never be a jag. And we will see you next time on The Greg Cherry Show.